What is up? Welcome back to Birdman, also known as at 2024 War Room on X. Hope everyone's having an outstanding Friday night now. It is heading into the weekend. Hope everybody's ready for the weekend. I know I am. I get to work the entire weekend. I'm fired up for that. But no, just joking. But hope everybody's ready for the weekend. Got some huge college football this weekend. You got the Big 12 championship tomorrow. SEC championship after that, and then finally a Big Ten championship tomorrow night between Michigan and Iowa. And then right now you have the Pac-12 championship between Oregon and Washington. I believe it's a halftime right now, and Washington is up 20-10, I believe, over Oregon. The last Pac-12 championship, if you can believe it, of all time, as that conference has diminished, as their teams are going to other conferences, Big 10, Big 12, and so on. So, interesting stuff. But anyways, before I get started on college football picks, which I do have some picks. I don't know if those games are going to be so close, but I do have some picks and some predictions on those, some storylines behind that. So, but first I want to talk about last night, the big debate between Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida and Governor Newsom of California. It's basically the JV event, I guess. It's Ron DeSantis has officially ran for president the past 6 months. He's actually a candidate for president. And then you have Governor Gavin Newsom, who keeps acting like he's not running for president, but everyone with a logical brain knows he's running for president in a shadow campaign. So basically two presidential contenders going at it, officially and unofficially, last night on Hannity. Pretty interesting stuff. You don't really see this. I don't remember seeing it between two governors. I'm sure it's happened before. I don't remember seeing it, but two high-profile governors going at it between two very populated states, two of the biggest states in the entire country. So really a few things that I wanted to highlight. I wanted to highlight some good lines, some good stuff they said with a back and forth. First of all, I'll say that Ron DeSantis, I thought he dominated the night. I thought he was, at his best last night. I thought he was very well thought out. He had some good lines. Newsom always comes across as a typical politician, in my opinion. He says what he has to say. He'll make up stuff. He's just 100% says whatever he needs to say to save face. But anyway, so I thought a good line. I think the best line probably last night was Ron DeSantis. He said, he was saying, a man told, he was talking about a man he talked to, I guess in Florida. He said, a man told me that he moved to Florida, from California to Florida because Florida was in his opinion, Florida had been such a better governed state than California. And the man ended up saying, yeah, and Ron asked him kind of who he was, and he said, well, I'm the father-in-law of Gavin Newsom. And so what was hilarious about that is obviously Gavin Newsom, his own father-in-law, thought it was terrible in California. I mean, it was so bad that his own father-in-law actually left the state to go to Florida. That is such a huge, that's pretty powerful stuff in my opinion. It's pretty powerful stuff. Your own father-in-law thinks his son-in-law so terrible he had to move to California or to Florida to get away from the shenanigans over in California. And so I thought that was funny. And when you think about it, when you went through COVID, right? Everyone knew that California was locked down. Then they put dirt and stuff in the playgrounds or the basketball courts. You couldn't even do that. They were locked down. They were proud of it. You remember that one time that Gavin Newsom actually went out to eat unmasked at some French restaurant or something, when he had his whole state locked down and they couldn't even go out to eat or anything, and he went ahead and did it anyways. They were one of the most locked down states in the entire country, while Florida wasn't. Florida opened schools in August of 2020. California stayed closed their schools until, I believe, fall of 2021. Just two different states and two different philosophies on COVID. We've seen a lot of articles and a lot of media on how terrible it was to lock down, how I believe even the New York Times says how terrible it was for kids to be locked down. That was one of the worst decisions ever. And in California was leading the way on being locked down. So a huge difference in that aspect too. I thought Newsom, he said something to Ron DeSantis, something. I thought it was a decent line for Newsom. He said, "You're trying to out Trump, and you're even down. You're so far down by Trump. You're down by 41 points in your own state versus Trump, and meanwhile you're trying to out Trump. Basically, like, you have no chance of winning the presidency. You're so bad you can't even win your own state. Trump's beating you by 41. Now, I mean, Trump does live in Florida too, but I mean, it is crazy if you really think about it. It is crazy that Ron DeSantis is bragging about how great his state is when he's down by 41 in the state he's bragging about to Trump. I mean, that says a lot in some ways. So I thought that was interesting, but from Newsom's point, but I don't really see that as a point for Newsom. I just see that as a good line, like, hey, you're down by 41 in your own state. This is where I get. This is probably the most. Where I feel strongly about it. This is what I'm talking about Newsom. Newsom is just a politician. Newsom said, I'll take Biden at 100 years old over Ron DeSantis. I'll take Biden at 100. Basically, they were asking them about Biden's mental fitness and his age and, where he's at mentally. And Ron DeSantis said, of course he's not mentally there. He's not mentally capable of running. And then, I saw Newsom shake his head. And that goes to my point. Newsom will say everything great about Biden. How he's been such a force and he's helped his state dramatically. How he's just absolutely done an amazing job creating jobs. How he's done, created 14,000 jobs. Mind you, he created jobs coming out of COVID. I mean, anybody could have created jobs coming out of COVID. We shut the country down, and businesses started to open up. We started to open up in 2021. I mean, anybody could have created jobs. It wasn't really created. It was like they reopened their businesses. So that's another story. But the thing is about Newsom, if you watch it, not just in that debate, if you watch Gavin Newsom, he kisses Joe Biden's ass. He never says anything bad about him. He never says anything about Kamala. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say it right. Remember he jumped Ron DeSantis last night? It's Kamala Harris. It's not Kamala. How disrespectful. It's Kamala Harris. Kamala. This is ridiculous. I mean, imagine if you mispronounced Gavin or something. You think anybody would give a shit? But they're so stuck on this. It's Kamala. It's not Kamala. It's Kamala. I can't even say it normally. I have to sing it. But he will say everything's perfect. And nobody on planet Earth thinks Joe Biden is mentally there. He's not. He's got dementia. I don't know what he's got. I'm not a doctor. I have no idea. I just know something's not right. And that's the difference. I live in reality. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to say, oh, he's fantastic. He's amazing. He does an unbelievable job. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, Gavin Newsom even said last night he does a great job at the border. Are you serious? We have record numbers of people coming through the border. Records. Nobody cares. They showed a graphic last night, the amount of countries and how many people have come down since 2022. 26,000 people have crossed the southern border from China. There's 6,000 from Egypt. There's what's the other one that was Iran had something. All these countries, a lot of the countries that are really enemies of us, or shall I say not friendly per se. I mean, it's really crazy. And I'm just saying, I live in reality. And so my point is you have to be independent. And what I see from Gavin Newsom, especially last night, is he does what he's been doing. He kisses Biden and Harris's ass, and he tries to pose himself as he doesn't want the presidency. He tries to keep, like, trying to say he doesn't want to be president, he doesn't want to do this, he doesn't do that. But in reality, everybody knows he is running for president. Everyone knows what he's trying to do, but he's out here saying that Joe Biden's going to be president, he's not going to be president, and he can't say one thing that Joe Biden hadn't got right. He will say that Joe Biden's been masterful. I think he actually used that term last night. Masterful in all his decisions and everything that's gone on. To me, that's fake. And you have to be able to call your own party out. You have to be able to call people out. It's not possible that you would actually believe 100% of Joe Biden's done. That's just being dishonest. And so that's my point, is that you always have to be independent. And it's a turnoff. It's a turnoff. I don't agree with most of Gavin Newsom's ideas or what he says, but if you need to be independent in your thinking. Newsom gives Biden an A, right? I mean, of course he does, right? I mean, that's what he gotta do. Newsom agrees with that he's running a shadow campaign. That's why I said be independent. That's my point. Be independent. You've got to be able to do that. Just in your personal. I mean, like, anytime you see this on X a lot, everybody has their guy. They're a Trump supporter. They're a Desantis supporter. They're a Nikki Haley supporter, and they will never post. They will never disagree with their candidate. They just constantly tell them everything's perfect, and it's not. If you're not disagreeing with your political choice or your political candidate, then you're just being fake, in my opinion. You can't possibly agree with everything they're saying or doing. It's just impossible. So that's pretty much last night. I didn't want to go through the whole thing, but just a couple things I pointed out that. And I forgot about this one line. One other thing for last night, I thought another great point from Desantis was when he pulled out this poop plot for San Francisco. He said, man, this used to be one of the greatest cities in the entire United States. Now there's actually an app where you can look and it'll pull up the poop plot of San Francisco. And it's just a brown map of all these feces all over the San Francisco. And it's just it's disgusting, right? But that's what they have for San Francisco. It's just, and we've all heard it. I mean, San Francisco is like really bad shape, like a dump. I mean, it's just crazy. But there's an app that actually shows you the poop. It's like a poop map of San Francisco. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I thought that was hilarious from that. But like I said, I thought the same. And then there's another story, and I haven't really read it much, that his wife was trying to pull him off the stage. Gavin's wife. Oh, by the way, Gavin's wife, if you go to her X page, you know how you're usually the first lady of California, right? If you're the wife of the governor, you're the first lady of Texas, the first lady of Florida. Her says, I'm the first partner of Florida. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, folks, she's the first partner of Florida. She's not the first lady. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, you go, girl. You wink to that LGBTQ crowd. Oh, that's so cute. She's the first partner. Oh my God, that is so cute. That's so. You wink to those LBG. Oh, what's up? What's up, Pride Flag? I know what you're doing. I know. She's the first partner. But then I went to Gavin's. It says he's the husband. I'm like, whoa, are you the husband or are you the partner? They need to get on the same page. He's a partner. I don't know. It's weird, man. So cool. By the way, I'm having Red Bull. This is sponsored by Red Bull tonight. It's fantastic. Actually, I don't have a sponsor. I don't have sponsors. But I thought it sounded cool. Okay, tomorrow, this is the real nuts and bolts of the programming. So you have the Big 12 Championship, Oklahoma State versus Texas at 11 a.m. Oklahoma State 9-3, I believe. if I'm not mistaken, 93 on the year. Actually started out pretty slow. They lost to South Alabama early in the year, which was a horrible defeat for them. I think it was like 35-7 or something like that. They did end up winning, beat OU, my team, OU. Don't want to talk about it, but they did. So they've had a nice little run since early in the year, and they got into the Big 12 championship. They're ranked number, I believe, 18 in the nation. Do have 3 losses, but they did get in by beating OU, as OU had 2 losses in the Big 12, but they had 2 also, but they had the tiebreaker. So Texas did lose. Hey, Texas lost to OU, though, I must say. Barely lost to OU on the neutral field. And really, Texas had a pretty damn good year overall. They got a pretty damn good offense, and the defense is actually pretty solid. So I picked Texas to win. I hope Oklahoma State wins. I cannot stand UT. Being a lifelong OU fan, I just can't stand them. So I hope Oklahoma State wins, but I don't think they're going to win. So I picked Texas. I could pull it on top of my head, but I picked Texas. Where is my thing on here? Did I put it on here? Okay, here we go. Texas 45, OSU 24. Texas 45, Oklahoma State 24. So Texas's defense, they're only allowing 87 yards a game on rush. So their defense is pretty solid. Offense is pretty good too. So really what I'm seeing is their defense is pretty solid. And Oklahoma State's averaging 423 yards a game. But they're going to have a hard time running the ball. They've got to somehow run the ball. And they've got to do better than 87 yards. If Texas only allowed 87 yards a game, which is one of the top in the entire country for that rush defense. So Oklahoma State's got to establish the run. It cannot turn the ball over. They can't turn the ball over. They just can't do it. I mean, Texas is going to be hard to beat. They're a better defense. They got a better offense, more weapons. It's going to be a tough game. Let's put it that way. But I know how it is. You get in these neutral fields. Texas has everything. They're trying to get in the playoffs still. OSU really doesn't have much to lose. I mean, of course, they want to win the Big 12 championship, but they're major underdogs. So we'll see what happens. I do expect Texas to win, though. I hope they don't. The other game, Alabama and Georgia, really a toss-up, but I think Georgia's going to win. I think Georgia's going to win that game. Alabama did lose to Texas earlier in the year, but they've only lost one game, and they're trying to sneak into the playoff if they win. They're actually number 8 in the country. Actually, it's kind of low in my opinion, but Georgia, number 1 team in the country, so they play at 3:30 Central, I believe. But I have Georgia winning 34-24. Michigan and Iowa, the night game. I love the Wolverines. I want Michigan to win so bad, and I'm pretty sure they will. They're heavily favored by 22 over Iowa. Iowa has absolutely no offense. And then Michigan's defense is like number 2 in the entire country. Michigan is allowing 10 points a game. 10 points a game. Iowa's averaging 18 points a game. Iowa has literally almost no offense. So I have no idea how Iowa would win this game. They could win. I mean, there's always a possibility. I have Michigan. I actually feel conservative in this. I have Michigan winning 38-10. I'm leaning towards 45-10. So we'll say 45-10. We'll just throw that out there. Michigan 45, Iowa 10. So I think it's going to blow out. They're favored by 22, which is insane in a championship game, but that is what it is. So I got Oklahoma State losing to Texas 45-24. I had Georgia beating Alabama 34-24. And I had Michigan beating Iowa 38-10. So we'll see, folks. Game right now, I didn't pick Pac-12 game. Oregon was down by 10 to Washington at halftime. I have no idea where it's at right now. We'll see what happens. Texas, do they get into the playoff if they win? I think if they win big, I think they do get in. Then it kind of depends on the other thing, too. If Georgia wins, that helps them, because if Alabama beats Georgia, there's a big possibility that Alabama could go into the playoff because they're Alabama. So that would not help Texas. So I don't like Texas. I never will like Texas. I just won't. But we'll see what happens. My Sooners not in the Big 12 championship. We are waiting for our bowl. I think there's some predictions we're going to the Alamo Bowl. We'll see. we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens tomorrow, folks. I will give you another update on Monday. Do another video Monday. Election update coming up too. Hey, we're going 44, 45 days, I think 46 days away from Iowa caucus, the kickoff to the Republican primaries coming up. We'll see what happens there. As you know, Trump's I think he's up by 27 in Iowa over DeSantis right now. And that's DeSantis's ground. He's Iowa or bust, DeSantis. And Haley's right behind him, but Ron DeSantis, if he doesn't win Iowa, he's going to be out. So 46 days to go. Iowa caucus coming up. I'll give you an update on Monday. I haven't seen any polls come out in a while from there, from Iowa, New Hampshire, or South Carolina. So hopefully they'll have another poll coming out over there. I haven't seen one since Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa, endorsed DeSantis back in a few weeks ago. So anyways, that's all I got. Have a great weekend, outstanding weekend. If you like what you hear, subscribe below. Also, follow me on X at 2024 War Room. Thank you and have an outstanding night.